Yeah, my bad. I'm trying to run these together, man. My kids run outside, and that's I really have a hard time of running them together. So we gonna figure it out. But like, yo, I remember those times. Like I said, being so broke where we was eating sardines and crackers for dinner, like a snack. Like that shit was just. I didn't even know we were so broke. That was just like in the house, and it was like a snack, something to eat. We didn't have no food, something to eat. Eat it. You gonna eat something? You gonna eat whatever's in there. I eat them sardines with some mustard, some crackers. Just eat it. Even if it didn't want any no crackers, eat it. I remember doing that crazy shit. Bologna sandwiches, like fried bologna sandwiches. Can't even believe it. It's definitely a part of my past. I remember my first time getting some steak. Like I'll never forget that shit. Sitting there going to Golden Corral, getting some steak, like some real steak. My mom didn't even know how to cook steak. She had to put steak in the fucking oven, like it was a roast. I'm talking about some first time getting some grilled steak. Man, like you could still, wasn't like jerky. It was grilled steak. That was beautiful. I'm going back for seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, and I took some pieces home. Cause I used to be taking the food back from Golden Corral. I'm taking all that. But I was saying on the last one, like, yo, doing that scammer stuff when I was a kid, being a scammer, right? Going to door, looking for donations. That shit was kind of intense. It's funny because you never think about like what you're doing as a kid. I'm going door to door, asking for donations. Like with the papers, I had to set up where I had a manila folder, wrap it around, or putting it down, look real professional. I'm fifth grade, fourth and fifth grade, young boy doing this dumb shit. And even till sixth grade, where I'm sitting there running around asking for donations for different sports, different fundraisers, stuff like that. Because remember, they do the fundraisers at school, they'd be scamming us. They'd make us be doing shit for a fucking basketball that's $10. They'd be charging us $50 or those damn light up Walkmans or those microphone sets that change your voice. They'll sit there and make us pay almost $200 for a toy that costs $10 through those fundraisers. Remember the big gifts, the big prizes, the fucking, I remember they had the spy kit. The spy kit where you could sit there and listen through the houses with the hair set listener. You got the headset, you got the spy glasses, and they wanted like $3,000 basically. I'm not 3,000, like $300 for that stuff basically, $500 for that stuff basically. Like you better sit there and sell your soul just to sit there and get the money for the candy drive. And that was insane. I remember always getting it and just trying to like we'd get it. We would get the candy and just eat it. Another way to scam it. That was another way to scam it. And you would eat it to the point where like the kids would eat it, right? And now their parents got to pay for it. That was another scam. I even give a kid candy to take home. You know, and they gonna make it home for real. So they was definitely doing that. That was kind of wild. That was a wild time. I remember sitting there going on that first field trip where, I mean, to the zoo, but that stuff didn't matter though. But you know, you can sit there and just get lost. Think about that. It was regular people sitting there watching your kids that you didn't know who it was. It'd be chaperones and everything. Regular parents who ain't even good at watching their own kid, but they be watching you. I thought at the zoo. I'd always go be going to the zoo. I remember one time we had those graduation trips where like in my elementary school, like once you get out of sixth grade, you would sit there and take a trip to Washington. Everybody is slide to Washington D.C. Right? So we sliding to Washington D.C. I'm out there, and me and a couple buddies of mine, we're out there sitting there smoking out, get out there having a jolly old time. Took a little bit of shrooms because you know up here in the north in the Midwest, you can always find you some shrooms. Took some shrooms, went into the White House and geeked out and had a good ass time. Had a good ass time, sixth grade, and that's right before I got to sit there and go to a different school. But that was like the pinnacle of it. The pinnacle was like being able to sit there and go to the DC trip, go meet the. It's like you will meet the president, but then the president's not there. You get like a tour of the White House. You don't get it. You don't even get a tour of the White House. You get a tour of the outside of the White House. You go to different monuments, stuff like that. But it's funny because you take a trip all the way from Ohio to DC. Boom, boom, just like that. And it was a good time. And then they just stopped doing it. That was the crazy part. Like, how did they have it in their budget to do so much stuff and they just stopped doing it? They just stopped doing it. No more trips. None of that nonsense. I used to sit there and hate the school at the school lunch was. Remember how like we were so broke in our school? We used to have a little bag pouch lunches, like you a bag of milk. Sit there and play like a little drum, two nice little flat square titties, and you would sit there and play chocolate or vanilla, swirl them out, baby. Jungle Fever. Fuck, I remember that shit. I remember that shit. The mosquitoes out here in this damn jungle, boy. We know a fucking joke. Excuse me for my French. But yeah, we definitely gonna get into a couple questions here. But I'm just in there. I was just thinking all day, just reminiscing on this nonsense. Not even nonsense, childhood nonsense. I remember one time sitting there acting so fucking nuts, bro. Pulling the knife on the babysitter one time because they was sitting there trying to tell us what all they're doing. I'm about to get into these questions though, real quick, before my phone died. So let's just do that because some reason I decided not to charge my fucking phone. So let's not even keep playing around. Let's just get into this shit, y'all. So give me 1 second here. Let me pull up my email. Let me pull up my email. I'm here getting bit by mosquitoes and shit. Let me pull up my email. Let me pull up my email. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna sit there and just not even dick around with it. It was a good question earlier. Like Buddy was sitting there going through it, right? Hold on. All right. This is Mr. Long. All right, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee Long, buddy. Thank you for being a subscriber. Obviously, you came from the car videos, but I definitely appreciate you sitting there just subscribing in. So, yo, Mr. Lee says, turned 35 this year. My girlfriend of 6 years decided that she was no longer in love with me. She left drunk in the middle of the night 3 months ago. Didn't come back till it was time to pack. I'm 2 years sober, recovering alcoholic. Her mental health and substance abuse was getting out of hand, to the point where, despite me being fresh home from detox center, she had to come home drunk on a regular basis. Well, obviously, it sounds like already that you're better off. I mean, if she left you, then that's something that you don't need to be around. If she was already sitting there bringing you that alcohol around with you, and you already suffer from that. That's like sitting there playing with fire and not expecting to get burnt. Buddy said it like laying with wool and not expecting to. I'm sorry, carrying wool and not expecting to lay down with it. It's like sitting there expecting to be in bed with somebody and not be sexually aroused. I mean, what does she think is bound to happen besides you're gonna start drinking? So you didn't need to be around that stuff. It's like sitting there being a meth addict and there's crack cocaine right there inside. I'm sorry, a meth addict, a meth head, and there's meth right there in the room with you. How can you beat that? It's just gonna be hard for you. So it already sounds like you're already been benefited from the fact that she left you. Sometimes we need things to be taken out of our life to sit there and get in better places. And you 35, like you at a good point where like you can sit there and start off and go with anywhere you want because you still have plenty of time. You still physically athletic. You still handsome enough. You you honestly you it sound like you don't even have kids. You said it was your girlfriend, so you don't even have any serious attachments. Like yo, you still got the whole world in front of you. Like and then on top of that, you good luck being like, bro, you just became sober. That's good. Like that's some real stuff. That's hard to do. Like sometimes I wish that I didn't. I remember trying to sit there and not stop drinking. And it wasn't an easy thing to do. Like cold turkey. Give me 1 second, my camera stopped. It wasn't an easy thing to do, so like I definitely applaud you for that, and I'm proud of you for doing that because that's a tough thing to do. And you just keep doing that because you can sit there and do it, Mr. Lee. All right. Um, so she came home drunk on a regular basis. Exactly. Like that means that she just doesn't even care. She doesn't even have her life under control yet. She's to the point where she's coming home drunk. Who wants to be drunk all the time? Like I like to be sitting there. I don't even like to be high for her. I'll smoke bud and sit there and relax. But I don't even like to be high for her all the time. So why would I want to come home drunk all the time? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Last time I saw her for the closure talk, she was hungover and choked down 3 to 4 drinks to get through the meal. So I know it's for the best, but it still affects me. Like what? And I feel you, bro. Like yeah, because your body was comfortable. You were comfortable with a situation where you had a lady, and you're not looking for that now. You're losing comfort. Like that's a comfort level. That's also potential that you could have sit there and have a family. Like losing that is tough, bro. Like, I'm definitely sorry that you're losing that, but it's definitely tough, my dog. Like, but it's gonna be better. Like everything, anything that's hard is always going to come out to be better. Like I done sat there and been with a situation where I'm dealing with a female, and it's just because I'm sitting there basically scared to try something new, and like, bro, it's hard. Like, yeah, it's easy to go back to shorty, but I haven't made that mistake recently, not too long ago, where I made that same mistake where it was just like me and her, and we know we're not good for each other. And the way her mental is, she try to sit there and come around when it's time for her to come around her, like she's feeling lonely. But when I'm trying to sit there and talk with her or be real with her, stuff like that, she don't really want to connect with me. So how is that beneficial for me? It wasn't beneficial for me. It was just hurting me. So you're in a better position already, bro. Anyway, I'm doom spiraling, but still I'm doom spiraling, wondering all kind of the usual stuff. Every woman in my stage, everyone my age already has kids, and not want more. Does not want more. Mr. Lee, you gotta proofread that, buddy. Doesn't want more or desire to have them at all. Do I have to do I have to hope that just accidentally end up with the younger woman? Dating has changed so much in the 6 years. I'm kind of a broken mess. She left right before my birthday. 2 surgeries I've had to heal from alone. I guess I'm looking for it to work out for me, a story, but because I'm looking pretty grim right now. Well, Mr. Lee, bro, like life is always cyclical. It goes up and it goes down. Like, so you're fine. This is your down point. Like, even with the injury. But the injuries heal just like everything heals. It takes time. So it'll just be patient and just focus on what you need to focus on right now and not her. That's gonna be your best option is you're not gonna focus on her right now. Like you've been doing and sitting there been getting let down like in the past, bro. Like, ain't no point in sitting there keep going back. Let's go forward. You can find somebody who doesn't drink, that's already enough. That's already a plus. Because they also not gonna sit there and let you sit there and be wild and all drunk all the time. Because they'll sit there and leave your ass. And that's something that's gonna sit there and kind of hold you to a higher standards that you need. So at the meantime, like right now, yeah. Now, with that being said, you're going through these injuries where you can heal, or these surgeries where you can heal from. So that's giving you time for you to sit there and actually learn to be alone. And this is going to be the toughest part for you. Once you start to feel better out of it, you're going to feel way better. Now you're going to know how to be alone. And if you can learn how to be alone, you already got a leg up on a competition where you're not going to become this insecure, needy person who needs to depend on the lady all the time. Like you already feel like you need to depend on her because you already feel like you're going through it without her. Like, bro, you just sat there and said how she needed drinks to get through a conversation. How is that beneficial to you? That already sounds like it's going to be a volatile situation. There's too much alcohol involved, and you trying to go do different things. You just going to fall back into the same situation, and y'all just going to be stuck together, where y'all failing each other, like letting each other down all the time because y'all mad and y'all drunk or y'all depending on substances. And there's just no need for that, bro. But I love you, buddy. I mean, I hope that everything's okay. And just like, bro, remember, like, if you need advice about how to sit there and get to where you need to be at, bro, just holler at us. Like, I'm here for you. Holler at anybody in the group. We're all here for you. Like, straight up. Like, it's different people on here who even put messages on there to just let you know, like, bro, they've been there. Like, you're okay. Like, it's older people who've been there. But anyway, let's go to Mr. Guy. Guy. I had a buddy in school named Guy. Mr. Guy D. Wang. That's my buddy. He asks us, guy asks us, what's the thing that every guy should try at least? What is the thing that a guy should try at least once in their life? My thing is, I think that a guy should just travel to a different country. You should travel somewhere. I think that's the most important thing. One person says learn how to cook a killer meal from scratch. I feel like that's kind of easy. That's not something that's major. Like, bro, learn how to cook is not hard. But learning to travel, like getting involved with travel, actually sitting there having some responsibility to go travel to a different place, is tough. Someone else even says like a trip, taking a trip. Like, I think that's a very good one. Is sitting there taking a trip. So I just think that's something that you need to focus on with that. You need to do more traveling because at the end of the day, like life comes fast and we all gonna die anyway. So let's go to someone else. That was just simple. So, guy, I just think it's traveling, buddy. If you feel like it's something else, you let me know, whatever you think, bud. But I think traveling is like one of the most important things you can do. And get out of your comfort zone. Get out your comfort zone. That's another one. Get out your comfort zone. If it's uncomfortable, if it's something that's then something's feeling right. If it's uncomfortable, it's not always a bad feeling. But let's switch anyway. All right. Mr. Field says, "What is the most useless profession? A self-storage manager, maybe?" I don't think that's useless, buddy, because it'd be real hectic with that storage facility. But I think the most useless profession is someone a YouTube, not a YouTuber. What's the thing called? YouTuber is definitely one. And listen, I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to do my podcast situation, but it's absolutely fucking useless. And except for it actually does not, because some people find mental health and enjoyment in this. Enjoyment in this. So that's not true. That's not true at all. I think maybe geez, what is the most useless profession, bud? Oh, that's pretty easy actually. Geez, I would say a gas station attendant because you can use cars for everything now. Those might be the most useless one. Someone else says an influencer. Yeah, I mean I think the same thing. So, all right, I like this question. All right, Bub says, What's off limits to you in a casual relationship? What do you view as too intimate for casual relationships? And he asks specifics, things that you say more for someone that you're just dating, just curious. A casual relationship. See, all white folks be having different things when it comes to dating. Like I didn't know hanging out even meant like hooking up, having sex till I was in high school. Like I didn't know what dating meant that just we're just going out. I thought dating was always that we're together. So in a casual relationship, like, yo, I'm gonna say no button eating, uh, no oral from me, unless you're just having a good time, I guess. There's no oral. Casual relationship. I'm not meeting your family. There's just no need to do all that. Um, Pretty much those are the main ones that are going to be out of balance. That's just the straight up truth. I mean, all right, bub. I mean, that's just what I can really think, Bucko. This is a tough question because, like, how do you take an order? Don asks this: how do you take an ordinary life and make it extraordinary? That's a hard one, like, because at the end of the day, what is an extraordinary life? Isn't it just like mainly just sitting there living life to the fullest, doing everything that you wanted to do, making others happy, doing things for others to sit there and make them feel like they're a part of something, benefiting something and benefiting someone and others? I mean, what is an extraordinary life? Sitting there spending a lot of money, because that's not extraordinary. Going to different places all the time, that's not extraordinary. That's cool. I think it's what you have leave the mark on other people. Like if I die and I have a bunch of people in my funeral, I mean, obviously I died a good man. So I think that one day I need to sit there and get out my comfort zone where I'm sitting there just helping others. And the more that I start to help others, the more that I'm sitting there and understand I'm going to feel that I'm doing things for people other than myself. Because doing things for yourself is just so surface level. It doesn't do anything. What can we do for others? That's something I got to sit there and start figuring out soon. The things that I can do for others, charity. So that's kind of like the main focus. And leaving places and doing charitable things, then you travel. But I think that's living an extraordinary life. Is sitting there doing for others and getting them better places when they were than when you were here. Anything else is just gonna be a waste of time, right? I just think that's just what we're here for. The Lord talks about grace, and we give grace to others. We don't sit there and actually go somewhere. Here we go. This is like the most insecure thing, and I want to talk about this because I know that I've been insecure before. All right. Percy asks, Dave, how do you feel about their girlfriend or your wife being obviously attracted to other men? I mean, it is a two-way street. Someone even said, like, I mean, you look but don't touch. I mean, you don't understand that, like, we're all sexually attracted to the other sex. And you got to sit there and be simply just secure enough with yourself and know, like, bro, it just is what it is. And another thing is that you're never going to be able to stop your woman or your lady from cheating. They're going to do what they're going to want to do. And if they do it, then that shit is what it is. And you got to leave that person alone. But there's people in this world who don't want to hurt you as a human being. Like, they care about you enough that they don't want to hurt you. They don't want you to sit there and see you hurt. They don't want to sit there and see you heartbroken. Like, I've talked to a girl who sat there, and it's crazy because, like, we was talking, though. That's the crazy part. She was talking. And then it got to the point where, like, I'm like, yo, like, and I knew she had a dude where I've seen him in the gym before. I got her information from the gym where I was sitting there and started talking to her. She didn't give me her number because she had a dude. So, but we started talking through Instagram and talking for a little second. And I thought that was kind of already borderline suspect right there with that. Like, she should have already shut me down. We shouldn't even. She told me about her past and everything, injuries, all kind of stuff. What she do? We had full blown conversation. Like, and I asked her, like, bro, like, let's get together. Like, let's kick it. Like, I'm not worried about Buddy. And she said no, she can't do that to him. Like, and that's fair. Bro. That in my eyes, like, she's already playing kind of both sides, but that's a good woman. Woman gonna talk to other men, but a woman who sit there and be like, nah, I can't do that to him. That's a good woman. So that's something. That's the one thing you gotta understand. They're gonna sit there and be attracted. Everybody's attracted to everybody else. Like, you may not be attracted to. You might be. You might be attracted to a bunch of people, right? But the thing is, like, your spouse might just be attracted to one person, and that one person that she attracted to might be the one that she sit there and hurt you on, or he hurt you on. But then, though, you just need to be okay with just your spouse being attracted to other people. It's just a part of life. And if your spouse loves you, then they ain't gonna sit there and screw you over. And your girlfriend, they're not gonna screw you over. And it's just not really, that's not how most people are. There's a few degenerates that are like that. They sit there and do whatever they want. So, here we go. This is a really good one, all right? Tom says, men, all right? Men, Dave, if you've traveled around the world, what have you learned from it? I haven't traveled around the world enough yet. I was scared of flying for a while. So I'm just now about to start. So I haven't learned enough about that. But my dude, my dude jumped in here, okay? My dude Sean jumped in and he said, people are everywhere just like food. Music and a good time. Alcohol is popular wherever you go. If you think you had a unique visit to any location, let's see, put parentheses location. No, you didn't, in fact. I am a 6 in America and an 8 in Asia and a 10 in Africa. Based on the massive increase in likes I get when I fly out. If you're an asshole 90% of the time, other people won't be an asshole to you. If you aren't an asshole, I'm sorry. Be friendly, be cautious. Not everyone is cool as you are. And that's true. Not everybody is as cool as you are. You can't always project the way you feel on other people and expect them to sit there and look out for them like you would. But I like that though. I mean, because if you understand, like, yo, everything is almost the same everywhere else. It just really is. Everybody is the same. You think you have this unique visit in a certain place, but the thing is, the same thing you're gonna do somewhere else. It's just a different environment. But the thing is, though, you still need to sit there and travel this environment and learn to sit there and just not even be a nomad. I'm not telling you to go sit there and lay down and live somewhere. Just enjoy it. Enjoy this time that you have, because it isn't forever. It isn't forever. And I guess I wasn't gonna keep going, but I'm gonna keep going. Mr. Gideon asks, David, what gets you mad about relationships? My thing is, like, when I was younger, I was just really scared to the point where, like, I didn't want to get married because I could never think that someone would sit there and love me enough and marry me and just stay with me and never leave me. I've been left and just like hurt in relationships that I didn't think that nobody else could sit there and just be with me forever. And I remember sitting there being with this girl where I told her, like, she would always tell me that she was gonna marry me and shit, stuff like this, right? And she would tell me that, and I did love her. And but I would always tell her, like, nah, you're not gonna love me. You young. You gonna meet somebody else, and you gonna sit there and you don't even know yet. And the thing is, though, I sit there and wonder, but I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't have married her, but I would have married her. I just wasn't ready yet. So, what gets you mad, honestly, in a relationship is just that flakiness. Like, if you're gonna sit there and be with somebody, you gotta be with somebody and lock in with them, and y'all build. If not, it's just flakiness, and I don't like that flakiness stuff. That flakiness be sitting there just killing me. I really hate that flakiness stuff. Flakiness is not good for nobody. Doesn't get us anywhere in any relationship. And yo, my phone about to die, so I'm about to go to this last email. Dave asks this. I mean, my bad. Keith asks me this. Dave, I'm a man with poor recalling power. What's the worst thing that you forgot? I recently forgot some cookies in the oven while I was out to get some. It didn't end well. That's the most thing that I sat here and actually just sat there and just burnt up and screwed up. I just put some cookies in the oven. I'm sitting there working and just screwed that shit up. Burnt cookies all in the house. I'm working for 2 hours, 3 hours, and it's fucking burnt cookies all in the house. Lucky it wasn't a fire, but the whole entire house was smoky and smelled like absolute ass when I walked out there. And I couldn't get the smell out for about 3 or 4 days. So I don't really I mean bills, but I try not to forget too much, man. Fuck. A lot of times I forget that I have weed on me, like when I go into court or something like that. Then the court gotta have weed on me. It's in my pocket. I've even sat there and had it to the point where I've taken it into an interview before, and I can sit there and just smell it, just reek it. I'm just like, it just is what it is, buddy. And I'm definitely not throwing it away. I want to go sit there and smell this shit up after I leave this interview. So see if I can get one more interview before this shit dies. And I gotta get up out of here, y'all. Let me see here. Come on. This is an easy, whatever. Whatever. All right. Mr. Kutch asks, how do you usually approach women? I've been on the dating game for a while for various reasons, but I started to go out more and more again. And I was just wondering, do you go about approaching women in different places? Is it a signal? Or do you just go on for it? I mean, various places such as bars, malls, gyms, grocery stores. Give me some tips and advice. And I think, like, when it comes to approaching women, it's just like, you gotta just do it. You're always gonna feel uncomfortable. A lot of the times I sit there and see some lady that I want to approach, and it's just like, you sit there and nut up. Like, once you sit there and start thinking about it, you're just gonna nut up. You just gotta sit there and just go in for it. If you ever sit out there and lift some heavy weights, where you sit there and push the weight up, or and then let's say you do a rep and you push it up, and you just hold it for the second one, and you're automatically gonna already feel on that second one. It's gonna be just too hard. Just go for it. That's what you really gotta do. You gotta go for it. Like, ladies are just uncomfortable, just like you are. But you gotta sit there and just have that confidence and go for it. You're gonna get shot down, not 100% of the time. But it's gonna be like my cousin even told me one time. It's gonna be just that one you get, and it's gonna sit there and just it's gonna be something. But majority of the time, at the gym is weird, but just I think gym is easier if you take it slower. If you just introduce yourself, and then like the second time, you sit there and ask for the number. Third time y'all talk, ask for the number. Some people might just sit there and may have it to the point where they can do it the first time. And I've sat there and seen that. Well, you can go for it for the first time, going hot, but at the end of the day, it's gonna either work or it's not. Like, I like to build rapport. I mean, building rapport is cool. Another one like grocery store. I mean, you guys sit there and just go in for that. Just send them with the hey, beautiful. I just think you're beautiful. Just want to introduce myself to you. What's your name? Or I'm just want to sit there and just know your name, so and so. And they either gonna ask you. If they ask your name, then you're already 2 levels up. If they don't ask your name, then they might just be shy. And you can introduce yourself and just ask them like, hey, you got a boyfriend? I don't even like even asking them if they got a boyfriend. It kind of goes on option. Well, I just want to somebody get out here. I just think you're beautiful. Can I get your number before I leave? And they say either I got a boyfriend or no. Or you gonna say yeah. And then you're done. That's even at the bars. And then the bars is a little bit easier because you can be more wild. You can be like, hey, baby, what's up, baby? Shorty, talk to me. What's up? What you doing? Y'all ladies, what's up? You can sit there and be more because everybody's there to talk to somebody and meet somebody. You can be more wild. You can get shot down. You can get laughed at. It just is what it is. So approaching ladies that way is like probably the best option. Be yourself. Just go for it. Have confidence. Stand there with your back up. Slow down when you talk because I talk fast. And that's kind of the toughest thing for me because I talk so fast that I got to kind of slow down sometimes. So you got to slow down sometimes to sit there and talk. That's like my biggest struggle. But I've been in here talking for this shit for a little bit. Answer a couple questions. Just go for it, bro. Shoot your shot because any shot you don't take, you just gonna miss. Like I owe down for a shot that I didn't take the other day. And I still got to sit there and make up for that shot. You almost got to sit there and hold yourself to, you got to hold yourself to that standard. Like, yo, if you don't do this, you're going to lose points, right? You're trying to gain points. That's almost like where I'm like with it. You want to keep points, right, with yourself. And if you lose points, you're letting yourself down. So you don't get points by just going in there and just talking. It don't even matter. You don't get the points for talking. You don't get more points for completion, but you don't get points for talking. You're going to lose points for not talking. And that's just how I go about it, but I love y'all. I sit there and hope y'all enjoy it, bro. Keep it safe and you can do what y'all want to do. Lock in.